Hey guys, what's going on? Billy Lawson from Your Lake Fork Guide. Today, I want to tell you guys everything you need to know on how to catch big bass throughout the year, but specifically in the wintertime on a divine underspin. So one little trick when you're rigging up the flush on a divine underspin head, there's a little subtle notch right there in the head. I actually like to trim the bait down to there. That does two things for me. One, it gives me a more compact bait, which is going to help me hook more fish up when they bite in the wintertime, and they're not biting as aggressively like we talked about. But the other thing is that's going to make that flush fit just perfectly to the head of that divine underspin. So now our flush is rigged up on our divine swim bait. See how that all fits together perfectly? Now we're ready to take it fishing. So the next decision you got to make is, where do you throw these divine underspins? Hey, in the wintertime, we're talking about deeper water. We're talking about vertical cover. Vertical cover is such a big deal for fish in the wintertime all over the country, but especially in the South. You guys know down here, we get those temperatures where it's 75 one day and it's 35 or 25 sometimes the next. What that does is create a lot of changing conditions for these fish throughout the wintertime. That's why they relate so well to vertical structure. They can change depths and move vertically along that structure, whether it be standing timber, bridge pilings, things such as that, dock pilings, anything they can stay on cover, remain an ambush predator, not waste a lot of energy moving around, and just move up and down vertically as they so choose. These are going to be key structure elements. I really am a huge fan of fishing bridge pilings in the wintertime. It just, nothing else provides quite the quality and size of vertical structure on these lakes that we go fishing in the wintertime. They just have so much room to move around from one piling to the other. And the other thing that happens at bridge pilings, algae gathers on those concrete pilings and bait fish hang around them all winter long. All types of predatory fish throughout the whole food chain, from bluegill to yellow bass, crappie, they all hang around these pilings, and big bass love to eat all of the above. So it just creates a perfect opportunity for fish to stay in one spot, find a winter home, move vertically as the weather dictates, and they can pick off meals at their choosing. Now to fish the flush, it's a totally different deal, and it is truly a wintertime, tough condition, post-frontal situation when I'm fishing the flush on this divine underspin. This is going to be a technique where I am literally gliding this bait down in the water column and almost holding it dead still. Especially around those bridge pilings and dock pilings, this works extremely well. And with the advent of live sonar, this can be a super effective technique, because now we can actually watch this bait glide down and know exactly when a fish is on it, when he's not. Do I need to lift it up a little more? Do I need to drop it down a little more? All right, let's discuss the thing that's never been discussed anywhere that I know of, the gliding technique for the underspin with the flush on it. This one, you don't want to make as long of a cast, depending on how deep you want to get. If you need to get that bait down to 20 or 25 foot, then yeah, you got to make a long cast. But a lot of times we're fishing for fish that are suspended or hanging around these bridge pilings where they're 6, 8, 10, 12 foot down. So don't make too long of a cast. Just make kind of a medium distance cast. And the first thing I'm going to do is just let it start gliding down. Then I'm just going to lift my rod and hold it. I'm literally going to let that bait continue to fall and fall and fall and fall. And once it's hit my desired depth, I'm going to go about like this. That's all I'm going to do. It's simple, but I'm just, with me doing this with my reel handle, just this slow, I'm keeping that bait in that depth. It's moving just enough with my rod tip straight up like this. That bait is moving just enough to kind of undulate and stay in that desired depth that I want it to. Okay, now when I get a bite here, you've really got to use the reel to set the hook, because you can't pull very much from up here. My rod's already up here. I don't have very far to pull. What I've got to do is really engage that reel handle. So when I've got it up like this, I get a bite, I'm going to really start turning that reel and drop your rod a little bit and then pull into them and just keep reeling. But really focus on reel setting with these divine underspins. It's going to allow that fish to get the bait a lot better. It's also, believe it or not, it's going to put the hook in them better. It's going to set the hook in those fish better. If you don't jerk on it, just go ahead and pull. Pull hard as you want, just don't jerk.